In a shockingly emotional and candid display for the normally reserved heir to the British throne, Prince William broke down in tears during an excruciatingly personal speech revealing the dire health crisis his wife Catherine has been privately battling for months. The unexpected outpouring marked a pivotal breaking point for the usually stoic Duke of Cambridge, who wept openly before a stunned audience while finally confirming rampant rumors surrounding the Duchess' mysterious absence from the royal spotlight. "I'm afraid I must be direct. My beloved Catherine has been stricken by an extremely severe and malignant breast cancer that has critically spread despite her valiance and our best private efforts," the 40-year-old prince managed between heavy sobs, his powerful words and racking grief audible throughout the thick tension reverberating across Britain's annual Henry Day Cancer Research Charity Gala on Thursday evening. Almost immediately upon William uttering the stunning revelation about Kate's months-long private battle with late-stage metastatic carcinoma, the entire lush Kensington Palace Gardens venue fell into an eerie, heavy silence. Save for the distinct sound of multiple guests throughout the audience openly gasping or starting to weep themselves in shared mourning after he confirmed what many royalists had begun fearing the worst over in recent weeks. But Prince William was nowhere near finished unpacking his pent-up emotions and the wrenching personal turmoil of watching his wife and mother of their 3 children valiantly fight a disease that has struck both his late mother Princess Diana's family as well as Kate's own relatives in recent years. In fact, it was the second in line's most unguarded public candor about Princess Catherine's failing health that cast a pall over the typically ceremonious charity event. "For months now my incredible wife has persevered with almost inhuman grace and dignity in the face of endless surgeries, treatments, sickness and pain, all while still devoted to finishing her royal duties and keeping our young children's lives as unburdened by this nightmare as she possibly could," the Duke continued shedding tears from the stage podium, his voice repeatedly cracking and choking up while the crowd remained utterly silent. "I've simply been in awe of her sheer courage and unbreakable spirit. Even from her weakest and most wearied moments, Catherine has remained determined to endure every last torturous step of chemotherapy and procedure unflinchingly, all while still getting up each day remaining a tireless mother, partner and soon-to-be modern monarch. I have never loved and admired anyone so much in my entire life." At several poignant moments throughout William's heart-wrenching address, the beloved prince appeared on the verge of being completely unable to continue sharing any further details about Kate's cancer battle as the scale of her suffering overcame any remaining composure. According to multiple guests inside the venue, William stood motionless on stage for nearly an entire minute at one point, hunched forward with his hands over his face while inconsolably weeping into the microphone as Catherine's sister Pippa and mother Carol sat nearby, the entire audience unsure of whether the address would be able to go on. But in an incredible show of raw vulnerability from the stalwart heir expected to one day lead the modern British monarchy into the future, the Duke finally contained himself to share how his wife's shocking cancer diagnosis had been confirmed over the holidays. "It was right around Christmas whilst we were still up at Sandringham. Catherine began complaining of dull back pain and unusual cramping that frankly we had all brushed off as simply holiday bloating from enjoying too many Norfolk puddings together," explained William of how his wife's symptoms first emerged over 6 months ago during the family's traditional estate festivities. "So of course when her pain levels worsened dramatically into the new year with occasional fevers that left her bedridden, we knew something was seriously amiss. But none of us could have possibly prepared or expected for the trauma when the scans first came back and Kate's cancer was already frighteningly late stage." William also shed more light about why the public fawning over Kate's seemingly inexplicable retreat from her ubiquitous royal calendar in recent months only exacerbated the immense private pressures on their family. According to the Duke, he and Middleton made a conscious decision to conceal the true extent of her dire condition specifically to allow their 3 young children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, as much normalcy in their lives as possible while still grappling with how fragile their mother's health remains going forward. From day one of her diagnosis, Catherine has remained insistent on keeping this living nightmare confined entirely to just myself and our most trusted inner family members to allow our children's innocence and lightheartedness to hopefully continue untainted for just a little while longer, William confided, heaping praise on his spouse's steadfast motherly instincts despite her own excruciating daily ordeal. "What sort of human strength and bravery does it take to undergo chemo, radiation and even radical mastectomy procedures in complete secrecy, only to emerge hours later still radiantly overjoyed by her young ones asking about her bandages, but too innocently unaware to comprehend what it all really meant for their mum? I shudder at the thought of shouldering even an ounce of the burdens my staggering wife has carried with grace beyond comprehension. Judging from William's raw and intimate first-hand descriptions of scenes unfolding behind palace walls, it appears the royal family had been doing everything possible to shield the younger generation of royals from being exposed to the full reality of Middleton's lengthy, secretive struggle with such a deadly foe. One particularly gutting anecdote shared involved Catherine masking her intensive chemotherapy treatments and subsequent recovery periods from her children under the guise of staying overnight at a wellness retreat for self-care and pampering. Other times, the princes and princess were told their mother was away visiting close friends, so as to avoid a single childhood afternoon or morning school drop-off marred by seeing her completely depleted, bald and frail. I have countless memories of finding my wife in a dark corner of Kensington Palace after an anonymous hospital procedure, trembling in a heated blanket while connected to morphine pumps, yet completely fixated on making sure the children wouldn't catch so much as a glimpse while she recovered. William bared his soul describing Kate's sacrifice as a mother. And each time she'd attempt to put on a brave facade and remind me, "I'll soon chase them around the gardens again in time for their nap, my love." I just don't know if I have another ounce of the innermost emotional fortitude and faith to draw from as my incredible partner has, not while her immediate future still remains so frighteningly uncertain. But the most devastating revelation from Prince William came toward his speech's end, when he confirmed the agonizing truth that despite remaining committed to her treatments in hopes of survival, Middleton's condition had recently become terminal without reliable long-term prognosis or hope for a permanent healing. A heartbreaking acknowledgement underscored when William finally lost all composure, collapsing into audible wails while choking out the words, "The cruelest cancer remains unresponsive and too advanced for much more than attempting to give us some extra quality time together," before turning and walking off stage into the outstretched arms of the Duchess' visibly distraught loved ones. While the palace has yet to officially comment on Prince William's astonishing disclosures regarding Catherine's grave medical situation, the sheer breadth of details and clinical particularities he provided in such a brutally raw emotional state has lent searing credibility to the harrowing revelations. Many even believe William had purposefully chosen the prestigious Henry Day Cancer Research Charity Gala specifically to insulate his family's privacy by breaking the news in an environment of empathetic, like-hearted supporters and within their trusted royal institutional apparatus. After sharing such intimate sorrow and unfiltered angst, there can sadly remain little doubt Prince William has finally ended any obfuscation about his wife's highly secretive health battle, confirmed longtime royal family biographer Sally Bedell-Smith candidly in an emotional interview with BBC following the event. Judging from the Duke's comments and his absolutely desolate demeanor, all indications are that Catherine's cancer has progressed to a terminal stage, leaving the entire clan and country emotionally devastated. While we must continue praying for potential miracles, such a guttural public acknowledgement from the future monarch indicates a dark chapter lies ahead we're all about to endure alongside the royals. Across the United Kingdom and throughout the Commonwealth, William's distressing appearance and immense personal anguish resonated profoundly with everyday families who've been forced to walk a similarly tragic path alongside their own loved ones struck down by unforgiving cancers. Indeed, within hours of the Windsor heir,